Right, Xavier.
So, Zeno, when will I get the go ahead to tell them all that I know about that riddle?
That is well, as soon as we have y'all wake up on the ship, y'all can do whatever you want. It is the open seas, and it's gonna take at least 2 days, if not longer, to get to where I think I want you to be. So y'all will have a little bit of downtime to discuss.
I mean, here's like kind of the bad thing though. I don't think uh I don't think that I completely know everything as a character. Swift does, but Adora doesn't.
I will let you resolve that as a player on your own because I don't have an answer for you. I'm not sure what he would have and would not have figured out. Your judgment call. I trust you.
Yeah, sure. You're gonna have a frantic drow on your hands.
Okay, so according to Xavier, last session we went and were able to stop a takeover by a changeling who was pretending to be Hachiman, I believe is what he meant to say. And um, there were a bunch of people who were drugged um, by this changeling who was having them drink a almost legendary strength charm potion. So even if they got hit, even if their orders were to kill themselves, they would still obey. Um, and they managed to get past the guards, kill the changeling, and find his little secret hideout. After that, they went to the elves and talked to the queen, and she gave us 5,000 gold pieces. She was basically going halvesies on a brigantine ship, which you are all currently on. She also gave you 10 elven crew members and a very obnoxious and slightly racist captain named Moxley. Um, so you are currently on a boat, docked at shore, ready to depart and go find so many things, you guys. There's so many things you guys have goals for on the boats, including.
Wait, don't you mean he's a Moxlish? I don't know.
I don't know what you were trying to do with that. So Adora wants to rescue his mother. Um, Sharad wants to rescue his old buddy. Um, y'all want to rescue Astashan from himself at some point. Uh, Danar wants to stop William from getting the quote blessings of the spider goddess, whatever that means. And Xavier wants to find General Tullius, who was quote lost to the silent sails, whatever that means. So
Honestly, we also have another objective out here, but that requires Gregor to be here, unfortunately.
I believe he wanted to bury one of his friends at sea, and he is online, but he's not in chat, so I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah. We need him here for that.
Obnoxious? What? What? Ugh! Adora, you suck.
Yes, and
Okay, so let's start off with. So Joseph and Xavier got on the boat, and he dragged your asses onto the boat. And before we get started, all of you have 2 employees that can bring with you on your trip. Please type up if you have employees and which 2 you're bringing with so I can keep track of them.
I quite literally only have one combat person I've hired.
Is it really just Joff and Yuno? Oh, that's right. I don't think anyone else had any hirelings.
Technically, Shorad has an apprentice, but he's not taking her on this mission.
What? It's fun. Dude, thieving, murdering pirates are always family friendly. Have you learned nothing from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, plenty. That's why.
Yes.
Yeah. As of right now, Shorad, as soon as Shorad wakes up and finds out he's on a boat, and he finds out what this is for, he's going to go to the captain and he says, "We need to go pirate hunting now."
All right, so Xavier and Danar, you were on the boat. Your friends are on deck. They are about to wake up. Let's start with Joseph. What is your character doing right now on this here boat?
Helping on the ship after basically learning how to be proficient with the sea vehicles. I am giving my support. I am all over the ship. I'm helping tidy the ropes. I'm helping maintain our coordinates. I'm even going up onto the crow's nest occasionally. I'm actually having fun considering the fact this is the first time leaving the continent.
Moxley is really impressed by your aptitude for this sort of thing and how quickly you're learning. And he thinks it's because he's such a great teacher, but really you're just a super fast learner. But either way, he's taking a shine to you. And he doesn't take a shine to anybody. Next up, Xavier, you were here last session. What is your character doing on this boat right now? Yuno is going to teleport us when needed. I believe you need to actually know the location to teleport, and you have not previously been to the various places you need to go. So keep that in your back pocket. But what is your character doing right now?
Would it count if I would have been okay to the Elm Kingdom? Fair enough.
To be fair, we don't even know where the actual Wait, do we? Was it? Did she say the gathering for peace would be at her place, or would it be some?
In 1 week's time, the Queen Restina, Queen Restina the Calm, Queen of the Elven Kingdom, is holding a banquet where she's bringing all of the big and powerful players in one spot for peace. And she is bringing good guys, she's bringing bad guys, she's bringing neutral guys. So it's something you don't want to miss. But you might miss it because this might take a while. So it all depends on how things go. And Xavier says he's just going to try to keep up morale since he's not good at sailing and stuff like that. Adora, you're first in alphabetical order. You wake up first. The sun is beaming down, but the cool waves crashing over the edge splash on your face, cooling you off and wake you up. What do you do?
Well, after I get all my equipment on, I will go up to the captain and start explaining just who the enemy is.
What enemy do you speak of?
The one who captured. Hold on. The one who captured my mother, Cole.
Does this enemy have a name?
Yes, he does. His name is Rolando.
Ooh, dramatic.
I don't know why, but I don't really know why, but whenever I do say his name, or when anyone really says his name, it just has to come out like that.
Rolando! Ooh, giving me chills. You can see his his flamboyant blue coat starts to shimmer. Well, I think Rolando and I are cut from the same cloth, if you will.
Trust me, you'd rather not be cut from the same cloth as him. He's while as fabulous as he may be, he is a rotten peach. If I'm describing.
Interesting, interesting. Shurad, you wake up as waves crash onto your face. What is your character doing?
Oh, first, Xavier put up a message real quick.
Yuno's been to the Elven Kingdom with me before, so she can teleport all of us there. Yes, I know.
All right, Shorad, as soon as he discovers where he is, and he's gonna storm up, trying to ignore the best he can the sunlight reflecting off the water into his eyes, and he just demands, "We need to go pirate hunting now."
Moxie goes, well, now, calm down. I'm as much for pirate killing as anybody, but let's get out in the open water first, okay, honey?
Yeah. He goes, "You don't understand. We need to do it now."
The faster we can get unhitched from this dock and set sail, the faster we can kill pirates. Trust me, this ocean is infested with them.
I will share he's gonna be using some weird. He doesn't know about boats all that much, except for the one that he got back here for. So he's just gonna be using random terms that doesn't really make sense.
He's going to point to a knot that's holding the boat to the deck. It is the most complex devil's tongue knot you've ever seen in your life. And he'll go, we can set sail as soon as you untie that knot. Chop, chop.
He goes off. I'm not waiting. He goes up to it and he tosses a firebolt onto it.
Damn it.
It immediately catches fire, and it catches fire quickly. Do you have anything to extinguish the fire you've just started on this wooden boat?
Alchemy jug, fresh water.
As the rope immediately catches fire and starts to burn the boat and the dock, you take water from your alchemy jug, splash it on, and immediately extinguish it.
How many people have the fucking alchemy jug? What the hell?
2. And as the sails are deployed, the knot is, quote, cut. You all start to set sail. You get about 6 inches away from the dock when a portal opens up above your head. Who wants to guess what's coming out of the portal?
Oh no. Oh no.
Incorrect. The correct answer was a tiefling sorcerer falling at high speeds and landing on the boat. Malleus, make a deck save to land in a cool pose or land on your head.
Oh. So it wasn't fucking acid chat. Okay, so...
You have to, Malleus, you have to do it in the dice roll chat. It won't work in the general chat.
You fall about 10 feet, and you land on your feet, and you kind of crumple all the way to the ground and have to, like, safety tap on the edge of the ship to stop yourself from breaking your knees. You land safely and without taking damage, but it's not quite as cool as you hoped it would be. You see that you are surrounded by a bizarre cast of characters on a ship. This is not where you intended to be.
I have my rapier up to this tiefling's throat, and I'll say, now just how the hell did you get on here?
So like, well, that was not what I expected. Sorry about that. Open the wrong portal. And looks at your rapier bill, and I'm gonna say, oh, that's a shiny new dong you got.
Fan-freaking-tastic. Now let's go.
Well, I can guarantee it's longer than yours.
Oh, I might like that.
I'm gonna look at the captain and I'll just say, I think he's meant for you and your cloth.
Malleus, you're going to feel a silk cape brush over your shoulders as a very attractive and very girly elven captain drapes his cloak around you.
I'm gonna do the most courteous bow that you can ever fucking curtsy.
Well, hello there. Who might you be? And you're going to see this blue-haired elf start to shimmer his cloak glowing and reflecting sunlight.
Be like, I'm Malice, a super trader of sorts. I'm looking for the bastard that stole all my wares. I've seemed to turn a wrong turn on my little dimension gate. Sorry about that. But I wouldn't mind helping you guys out. Minded you might help me out in the future.
Joseph was gonna hear this, and at the crow's nest, gonna be like, "I haven't stole anything since I got to Rexland."
I don't think he was talking about you, sweetheart.
No, I don't think you would have it. It would be a giant wagon. Trust me.
Yeah. Norad immediately, he's looking out at the horizon, tapping his foot impatiently.
So what am I all looking at? Who is the cast here? Who's
Everybody briefly describe your character.
Alright. Ladies first, Dora.
Let's go alphabetical.
Adora is a female wood elf. She stands at about 5'9". She looks rather muscular for an elf, I guess you could say. She has about medium long brown hair. She has brown eyes, and she looks pissed off at everything at the current moment.
Alright, with Joseph, you're gonna see a young human with shaggy black hair, wearing a like a little white mask on his face that only covers up to his eyes and his nose, in a what appears to be a long black coat with the red gloves. Basically, think of Joker from fucking Persona 5. That's what he's yes, thank you, Adora. As he's just kind of looking over the crow's nest and looking down at Sharad's impatient demeanor, kind of just looking at the sails, going, "Sharad, we still need the sails down."
Whatever that is.
Sharad, why don't you describe your character?
Okay, my character is a dark elf. So, squinting at the horizon, trying to keep the worst of the sunlight out of his eyes. You wouldn't imagine, he's essentially wearing ordinary clothing. Typically, a ordinary shirt and actually a tunic and breeches with a hose, and a pair of traveling boots. The only thing that describes otherwise.
And you've gone Mr. Roboto on.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
It's Tron 2.0.
No.
Speak and be heard, Sharad.
Now we can't hear you, period.
Well, alright, Sharad, since you seem to be having mic troubles, I'm going to put you on pause and hop on over to Xavier. Xavier, can you describe your character really quickly for Malleus?
Alright, any better?
Yes. So, Malleus, Xavier is a half-orc male, 7'4", wearing a coat made of leaves with casual clothes underneath. and he is currently going around making sure everyone's feeling all right. And then Malleus, let's have you describe your character.
So, I'm a tiefling dressed in extravagant clothing. Although, if you listen well enough, you hear that I have like a chain link shirt underneath. It's a little bulky, but I do that for protection. I always have like a smug look on my face, and I always try to keep my eyes closed as most of my times. But I'm actually just squinting because I find this place a little too cold and bright for my eyes. Although it doesn't really affect me.
Well, you wouldn't be cold. It's currently 150 degrees outside.
I'm from where I'm from. That's a little cold.
Fair enough.
It's a chilly environment.
I love it. All right, sure. Maybe your mic issue has resolved. Let's have you pick up where you left off.
All right, where did I start going robotic?
You were telling me that you look like a peasant.
Oh yeah, basically ordinary Tinikin hose with with boots. What separates it is the fact of a book hanging off his belt, where where the spine seems rather well worn, and next to it, it looks to be a deck of cards. He's just taking one look at Malleus, grunting, and then looking back out at the horizon, being impatient.
All right. A warm gust of wind hits the sails almost like a baseball jet, just whack. The whole boat starts to rock, and you guys lurch forward. The crewmen all start to man the sails. The captain is in the back manning the rudder. And you guys start going off, and you're picking up pretty decent speed. And you get almost a mile away from the dock in a matter of minutes. You guys are cruising. You're currently cruising southwards, so you're going to have to take an eastward turn pretty quickly. But right now the wind is blowing so hard south, it might be helpful to help the crew man these sails and, jerk them around so you can go where you're trying to get to.
We will do just that.
All right. So make a. You have proficiency in this check. I believe it is wisdom, unless otherwise specified. Let me have you try to roll to help the crew.
All right.
You are proficient.
So that would be a +5 for my modifier because I have +4 in proficiency and a +1 in all my.
All right.
Ouch. Do I have a lucky? I don't think it. I have one lucky. Fuck it. Using it. Better.
You see that one of the crew members, one of Xavier's crew members, is a handful of them are pulling the entirely wrong way on the ropes, and they're unintentionally fighting the more experienced Elven crew members, and they're just canceling each other out at this point. You give them a quick heads up as to what they're doing wrong. They change their position, and they're able to take this southward wind and turn it into an eastern direction by angling their sails. And you guys are off.
Yeah, I just put up one point going, stop fighting with each other and work together. Again, there's the plank if you need.
It's the elf's fault!
Eh? You're one and the same crew. If I hear so much as a human or someone shouting the name human or elf, I'll personally boot you off the fucking plane, off the ship.
Can I give the entire crew the most death mom glare I can.
Absolutely.
That would be intimidation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Adora. Intimidate these fools. Alright, as you see that the human and elven crew members are just glaring daggers at each other, throwing insults, and, just generally getting up in each other's grills, they don't see your face right away. They feel the negative energy, and they all kind of crouch down and turn around and see the look of doom on your face, and they all kind of quiet down.
After they see my face, I'm just going to go back to a more serious, less I'm going to fucking rip out your throat look.
Alright, they seem to be not necessarily getting along, but living together, moderately well. At least they're not shrieking insults at each other anymore. And the ship, thank God, is finally on its way towards your destination. You have a few minutes before we roll for our first encounter. What does everyone want to do?
I will pull. I'll just get everyone clustered into one spot that I can, and I would like to tell them what I know from the riddle, since as a character I haven't been able to do.
All right. Shoot. You have. I'm assuming you have everyone's attention, but I can't speak for them.
Okay.
Yep.
So those last few lines, they talk about the undead, right?
This was sent to Swift, not a door. I haven't even showed that to the rest of the party.
Then I can't. No.
So,
Never mind. I don't call them me.
Joseph, a thought creeps into the back of your mind that the rest of the party might be able to help you with this riddle, but you're not sure. It's entirely your choice whether or not you want to share this.
Please.
God. Would a door be able to solve it? I know Swift might, but I don't know about door. But yeah, I basically go down from the crow's nest and be like, well, it's not really irrelevant, but I guess you could all look at this ridiculous poem I got. It was one of the key elements that I used to figure out Hachiman was involved in what was going on, up until I found out Hachiman was just a changeling. But yeah, I show everyone the goddamn poem.
Alright, Adora, use your best discretion at what you think Adora would be able to figure out after reading this poem for a few minutes. Tell me how smart Adora is.
Well, Adora has an average intelligence of 10. Um, she will look at the poem and just well, if you look at the first letter of all the sentences, it does spell Hachiman.
Yeah, unfortunately, it took me to be Astashan to figure that one out, and that's when I saw him mess with time with a rapier. Not a fun experience.
You cut out from
Oh,
by experience.
not a fun experience, basically, is what I said, and I just ended it there. So,
Somewhere far away, we hear the giggling of another tiefling.
I'm going to look at that last line there, and Adora's going to get a very oh fuck look on her face. Well, friends, I think we might be dealing with much worse case than we originally thought. I'm going to point out that last line. I'll say, from what very little I've read on them, I think we might be dealing with some vampires.
Joseph's just gonna cock an eyebrow, going, "It just says undead. It doesn't necessarily mean vampires. What makes you think it's a vampire situation?"
Well, again, from what little I've read of vampires, after a vampire is, well, after a humanoid is turned into a vampire, I guess you could say, killed in whatever way they do, I don't really know. They're supposed to bury the bodies, and the next night they get raised as a vampire spawn. But if they're buried in pieces, they can't come back.
Sure, that just raises an eyebrow, going, huh.
I'm gonna raise up a finger and be like, we should ask a necrophiliac.
Joseph is just gonna look at Malleus, going, "Where the hell did you come from?"
I came from my mother.
I'm going to do the most Adora thing Adora can do at the moment, and I'm going to slap him upside the head.
Sure, actual just says, he came from a portal in the sky, fell in our laps.
Well, yeah,
I'm a-
I saw that.
I'm gonna
charade.
smile. I'm gonna smile while you slap me.
I saw that charade, but I was asking exactly where he came from. I know where he came out of. Obviously, he came from his mother. I came from a mother. So, yeah, my question still stands.
Well, I came from my house and, traveling and
Huh. Well, you got the poem. And unless Swift got an update from the king, I don't know how much time he had before he realized it. Hell, I haven't even contacted Swift going, "Yeah, we're leaving the continent. Good luck." I have to wait for that to recharge.
I don't know if Swift would show up in time. Let's metaphorically flip a coin. Adora, roll a d100.
Sino, please.
Let's leave it up to a figurative coin toss. Roll 50 or higher.
Fate, roll the dice. Nice. Wait, did he say 50 or higher? You prevented it?
Yes.
Okay.
Adora, while you are examining your surroundings, you see that there appears to be a raven flying towards the party. It appears to be gunning straight for you.
I kind of hold out my finger so it can land on it.
Alright, the raven has a letter attached to its leg.
I will read it.
Sherrod, you need to take a goddamn chill pill is what you need to do right now.
That's a reflex on him.
So what? He's like, "A bird!" Poof!
Well, yeah. It could be message could be bad. Or they could decide to strap a fireball spell onto the message.
You realize that would take a good chunk of magic to do that, though, and We're talking about Rexland. The most magical person is a fucking idiot.
Well, technically not true. There's that one witch in the swamp, but she's like not in Rex City, and she keeps to herself most of the time. But
You have an entire college full of wizards.
All right, Adora, do you share the note with the party, or do you keep that to yourself?
I will answer after I get my answer.
Make me that check there, friendo.
Dirty 20. I get that, Xavier, but still, he's a idiot.
yeah, he made a rapier to slow time. Like, and he was confident in his own research, despite the fact that my character had traversed time and even told him exactly what would happen. He's like, "Don't be so worried. I know exactly what I'm doing."
It kind of sounds like you're accusing Astashan of being an idiot savant.
What? No.
I have no idea where you'd be coming to that conclusion from.
I'm accusing him of being an idiot and not thinking things through and not taking a warning when it's given to.
All right, you all see Adora respond in the message and send the raven away.
So, care to share with the
Oh, just some business stuff, you know. Someone tried to steal something at the market, and they would just inform me on what happened.
insight check? That is the worst lie I've ever heard.
No inciting checks other players. You like whether or not you get intimidated or persuaded or figure out whether or not they're lying. That's all you players role playing. I'm not going to let a check determine that.
I hate this secretive shit. I swear to God, I really.
Says the rogue.
Yeah, I had no reason to share this, but Adora's like, please, just share it. I'm like, fine, I'll fucking share it. Here you go. Like, I even had to roleplay a reason why my character would have shared it. I had no reason to share it because the problem was dealt with.
Yeah.
I wish you knew more. I wish you knew as much as I did at this point.
Which is
Because
bullshit.
really
Which is
meaningless.
honest bullshit.
The problem is that Swift knows it, Adora doesn't. So that's why we're running into all these problems, and that's why I keep telling Adora to just go with what he thinks Adora could figure out.
Yeah, how it would have been. At the end of it, sure, I might have held on to some information out of spite.
Mine is more of I can't share the information I have because it's not the right character.
So you all descend into petty squabbling for about an hour. Who wants to roll a D100 for an encounter? You guys get about 5 miles away from the dock when for the first time in a very, very long time, clouds form in the sky. And they are not forming, ordinary rain clouds. There is thunder amongst them. And you feel the waves start to pick up. You feel the temperature suddenly drop. And even though 150 degrees is hot, a drop from 150 to 100 feels like a cold snap by comparison because your bodies were starting to get used to the heat. And you can see arcs of lightning shooting from the skies.
Guys, I just remembered. I have my son with me.
I don't think he's waterproof.
He is as long as he's with me.
Good answer.
Yeah, Shorad's gonna. He's gonna take one look at that cumulonimbus cloud, those cumulonimbus clouds going, and he's just gonna yell out, "Where were you in Rexland?"
Joseph, I need you to make a wisdom sailing check to swap out the mainsails for a storm jig. If these big ass mainsails catch any of this wind, this boat is going topside.
Joseph?
I heard. I have to type it up. I can't do like a simple check because it's not on my character sheet, and even if we customize it, it won't work. So I think we're just gonna have to copy paste the 1d20 plus 5 for now.
And Sherrod died. And Sherrod
Then guess what? I don't have my lucky. I used it just to get us out of the fucking dock.
All right. The human and elf sailors have no coordination between each other. And while the elves are going to the right, the humans are going to the left, and they tangle the ropes around themselves. The mainsails are still up, and you can see the wind rolling towards you as a wave. You can see this wall of distorted air coming at you. You all need to duck and cover. You can make a deck save to dump under deck, or you can make a strength save to hold on to something for dear life.
Dex. I'm not good at.
I'm diving under deck.
So, Avery, why do you hate us?
Hitting me. Hold on. Should I roll for my son?
Were you holding on to him directly at the time?
I feel like I would have had him on my shoulders, if anything.
So then he fails the save along with you.
Uh-oh.
Should I delete my son?
I mean, that depends on how much damage you take. I mean, that depends on how this goes.
I rolled a nat 1.
Okay, Shorad is going. Okay, so she has a child with him, right? With her, right?
Who?
I have Piddlewick.
Yeah, Piddlewick?
It's a construct.
Okay. Would you classify Piddlewick as a creature or as an object?
He's a construct, so he's technically an object.
Yeah. Alright, he's gonna, Shorad's gonna go, "You better thank me for this." And he tosses up a wall of force in the direction that they're about to fly into.
Read to me the dimensions of this wall of force. How much of this boat can you protect?
Alright, I'll bring up the spell.
Wait. Couldn't you just, like, block the incoming current instead?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, the range might be 120 feet, but it's you can form a 10-foot by 10-foot panel. So you throw up this panel in front of yourself and your allies. There's not enough room for Xavier, but luckily for you, he dives underneath. But this is not nearly enough surface area to protect the whole boat. So as this wave of water slams into the into your shield of force, you can see that Moxley and the crew members tumble overboard. They get surrounded by water and thrown off. Your mast takes all of that force and throws the boat topside. Even though your friends do not take damage from the wave, the boat is still going topside. Xavier is still on the boat because he succeeded on the check. Malleus, Joseph, and Adora all fail. Shorad, you still need to make a strength or dex save to stay on this boat. Alright. I need to roll for damage against the crew. Need to check how much HP this character has real quick.
I mean, we also have the ship with its AC.
Okay. The all of the crew members get knocked unconscious by the blunt force trauma, but Moxley still has a chance to make a save. He's going to make a strength save. But he fails.
Oh god.
So the boat capsizes. It turns sideways. Everyone except for Xavier has plunged into the water. There is a storm brewing overhead. Lightning is crackling. It is about to touch down, and you are all in water. I need to roll.
Fuck this.
I need everyone to roll for initiative, not because we're fighting, but because we are. I need to keep everyone in order while everyone is fighting to do stuff.
That makes sense. Well, how long have you had Piddlewick?
This is the first session I've actually had with him.
Poor guy.
Okay, so we got Xavier, Malleus, Joseph, Adora. Who are we missing? Shurad. Okay, Xavier, you are below deck, hanging on to the door, to the below deck cabin. So you managed to not only avoid damage from the wave, but you're also you drop to your feet. You're right next to the trapdoor, and you can pretty much do whatever you want. Do you stay below deck or go above deck? All right. So I need you to make a flat wisdom check with disadvantage because you are not proficient in sailing and you're trying to manipulate these sails. Wisdom check. All right. The wind is battering you. Waves are splashing in your face. You're able to take down the main sail, but you don't. It just takes you so long. You're not experienced with it. You don't have time to pull up the storm jig. But at least this boat isn't going to start whipping around at high speeds. And that takes you a little bit of time. So we have to move over to Adora. Adora, you are splashing about in the water, mostly unharmed. Your son is unharmed, but he is sinking, and he is sinking fast. He's about 5 feet below you.
I saved my son.
All right. You can make an acrobatics or an athletics check to swim. You swan dive underwater, jumping up and then immediately back down, grab your son in one arm, swim to the surface, and you're able to tread water. And despite these 5-foot high waves just slapping you in the face, you manage to stay above water and float. And that takes pretty much all of your turn, so we're going over to the next person.
I just mom-eye the waves.
The waves are immune to mom eyes.
These waves are too powerful, guys. We lost. We're all dead.
Come to me.
Alright, Sharad, you are getting slapped in the face by 5-foot waves. You can make an athletics or an acrobatics check, and then you can make an action once you've done that. Because right now you're not saving anybody but yourself, so roll to see if you can stay above water. You fall 5 feet below water, and water is trying very, very hard to creep into your lungs. You cannot breathe. What do? You have an action.
Sure. I'm still. Am I on the boat or am I off the boat?
You're 10 feet away from the boat itself. The boat is sideways, and you're 5 feet underwater. You just used your movement action and failed to stay afloat. You still have your action and bonus action.
This probably would be very stupid of me, but he said I don't. He's not in the wall of force anymore, and this probably is going to freak out a couple people. But actually, I don't know if I'd be able to. Would I be able to cast a spell under, or would I need to be up on the surface?
Your arms are busy flailing and your mouth is full of water. Does it require verbal or somatic components?
All spells require at least one of those two.
Good point. I'm going to rule that no, because you can't. You're busy using your arms and your mouth to try to not die right now.
Well, as of right now, Shorthead is trying desperately to get up to the to break the surface to try and get himself capable of doing something, because he's kind of useless right now.
Alright, just like the dash action, you can use your action here to attempt to move again. Make another acrobatics or athletics check to try and breach the surface. You just barely get your nose above water before a 5-foot wave collapses on top of you and pushes you 5 feet underwater once again. You cannot breathe, you failed your check, and that ends your turn. Joseph, it is your turn. You need to use your movement for an athletics or acrobatics check to get above water and take a breath.
Alright, can I see any of my comrades around me while I'm currently in the water?
Make a perception check if you want to look through the water. It's very dark and murky.
Fuck.
While you are swimming underwater, you're able to see that all of your comrades, I believe, except for Adora, are currently underwater, as is the captain and all 20 crew members. Everyone is at the moment unable to breathe and 5 feet underwater.
Fuck. Fuck, we're too far out to even see like a shoreline or anything, so that won't work. God, you really know how to limit one's options, don't you?
You can, if you don't want to go above water and take a breath, you can try to swim to an ally with one action and then try to breach the surface with another.
Alright, who I can swim Well, I can tell who's in more distress, right? Because you at least see my allies, so I can tell Shorad's in distress.
Yeah, you just witnessed Shorad attempt to breach and get slapped in the face by a wave. He is within 15 feet of you. So even though this is difficult terrain, having your movement, you can still swim to him and try to rescue him if you want to.
Yeah, I'll attempt to do that.
All right, I need you to. You're able to swim to him without a check, but you need to take your action to make an acrobatics or athletics check to pull yourself and him above water.
God damn it. Alright. Pooh, why can't it be a bonus action? I'm looking at my spell Thunderstep, and I'm pretty sure verbal won't come out very well underwater, so fuck, why can't you be a bonus?
Also, doesn't that deal, lightning damage?
To be technical, thunder, but yeah.
And you would use that in water?
What's the
either
worst
or
that could
really-
happen?
He fucking murks everybody.
I mean, it's gonna happen anyway, right? And Dex check or like acrobatics or athletics, right? Or
Yeah, you can make acrobatics or athletics, whichever you're proficient with, to try to save Sharad. DC 15, and you can carry up to one creature with you.
boom.
All right, Sharad, you feel Joseph's arms wrap around your abdomen, and you can feel your head splash above water. You take a much-needed breath as you both gasp for air. You can now see above the waterline, and you can see that Xavier is frantically disassembling the mainsail and trying to set up the storm jig, but he is not proficient in sailing, and he's not even 100% sure which sail is the storm jig, so he is struggling.
Joseph's gonna shout, "Throw out some damn ropes for us!"
Shorad yells out, "Keep my hands free! Keep me above water! I got an idea!"
Joseph's like holding you above water, just gives you a look like, "What do you think I'm doing?"
And that ends your turn. Captain Moxley now has to attempt to get above water. He's going to make an athletics check. Which he fails. You can see flailing hands and arms as Moxley tries to breach the surface, only to have a wave cascade upon him and send him right back down. He's going to take his action to attempt it again. When he fails once again.
So, guys, it looks like I'm gonna be the new captain because I'm the only one amongst us who knows how to man a ship.
Why, you think a captain would be able to swim?
Alright, now I need to roll for the guard. And what do they have? They have a +1. All 10 guards, you see their heads pop up above water as they gasp for air, and they all kind of they take their action to swim towards the edge of the boat. They're 15 feet away, so it takes all of their dash action just to cling on to the edge. And now we will roll for the elves.
Are you kidding me, elves? You're the most dexterous race out of everything, and you fail this shit?
The human guards look at their elven comrades, and despite the fact that they've done nothing from argue, they definitely didn't want to watch them drown. But they've used all of their actions just to save themselves, so they just kind of look on helplessly as their elven shipmates start to drown.
God damn it.
Malleus, it is your turn. You are 5 feet underwater, struggling to breathe.
Alright, so I can make a subtle spell, so I don't need to make breathe in order to or speak in order to make a spell. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a dimension door underneath me, so that way the force of the water will bring me down to it, and then I'm gonna make it the other side on near the ship, but with like a 10-foot gap, so it wouldn't splash water directly on it, but give me a chance to at least land on the ship.
So you're currently 10 feet away from the ship. So do you want to teleport to the ship?
Well, not exactly to the ship because dimension gate it will stay open as long as I keep it open. So just near the ship, so that way I can at least attempt to jump onto it.
So you're already only 10 feet away. So you're just teleporting 5 feet closer then? And above water?
In the air. In the air.
Oh, in the air. Okay, sure. If you're only 5 feet in the air, you don't take fall damage. So as water sucks you down through the gate, it also dispenses you above the boat. You're able to roll onto the boat without issue because of how you positioned your gate. You are now on top of the boat, standing next to Xavier. And I'm assuming that takes an action, so you would still have your movement and bonus action.
That was a bonus action because I was make that a quicken spell.
Nice.
And so, using my sorcery points to do both of those, I'm going to go ahead and start throwing some ropes off the sides and tell everybody, if you can't go up to the surface, just fucking go in the gate.
Roll a d4 and see how many ropes you find in your immediate vicinity. You find 2 ropes, and you can throw an object up to 20 feet without a check, and they're only 10 and 15 feet away accordingly. So you pick up these big, heavy, damp ropes and just hurl them over the edge, one at a time, towards your friends so that they can more easily get onto the ship. That will take your action.
Alrighty then.
Are you going to stay put or are you going to move somewhere?
I'm going to move more towards the middle of the boat and hold on to something, kind of.
All right, you were able to move 30 feet up, and you are now in the dead center of the boat.
All right, that ends my turn.
All right, Xavier, you were looking at the various sails that are in this trunk. You can't tell which is which, but at least the mast is no longer being blown about. You have at least solved that problem. You can either make an intelligence check to decipher which of these is the storm jig, or you can continue to throw ropes into the sea, or what do you want to do? An intelligence check would be a bonus action. All right, roll it. You have no idea. They all look the same. You can use your action to try again or do some... Oh, you're going to throw some more rope? Okay. Roll a d4 to see how many ropes you can find around you.
I don't know why, but I kind of just imagine Xavier finds a rope, then he's just like, and then yeets them off the side of the boat.
All right. 4 more ropes go into the water. Pretty much everyone who is currently in the water has a rope that they're within swimming distance as long as they can keep their head above water. All right. Adora, it is your turn. I don't... did you breach the water on your turn? I believe you did.
I think you said I wasn't underwater, but my son was, so I saved him and then swam back up, and now it's my full turn.
Gotcha. Okay. So you are currently above water. Your son is climbed onto your back piggyback style. You are 10 feet away from the boat, but there is mercifully a rope right in front of you. So it only takes 10 feet of movement rather than 20 to pull yourself ashore with the assistance of this rope. should you choose to pull yourself forward.
Yes. Do I see where the captain is?
You can see the captain is actively drowning. He is 15 feet away from you.
I will have Piddlewick climb the rope and I will go save the captain.
All right, make an acrobatics or athletics check. As you try to swim towards him, you get 5 feet closer to him, at which point a 10-foot wave collapses on top of you, plunging you 5 feet underwater.
I will continue to swim towards the captain, but underwater this time.
All right, since you are underwater, not struggling against the waves, you're able to use your movement to just sort of swim under the current towards him. You're able to grab him, but you don't have time to bring him above water on this turn.
All right. As a bonus action, I will do absolutely nothing because nothing will help.
All right, Sharad, what are you doing?
Hey guys, what is it when? Hold on, I had to find this. So do you know it has 4 letters?
What?
Thousands of words.
Okay. Do you know what has 4 letters?
I got it.
I got. All right, where did I cut out?
None of it was legible.
All right, so, being held on by Joseph, he looked at Adora and then yells to Joseph, "Do you trust me?"
I don't know, Joseph, do you trust him?
Joseph is constantly thinking about letting him sink right now because of thinking of past events where he's been helpful but also been not so helpful.
That's fair.
So Joseph's just gonna stare at you going, what are you doing? I'm planning.
Shored is going to look towards Adora, and he's going to cast Polymorph on her to turn her into a young bronze dragon.
Oh! Oh shit!
They can swim!
And
All right.
underwater, if I'm not mistaken. I remember reading up on those dragons.
So, Adora, you have a chance to resist if you don't like this outcome, or you can just roll with it and turn into a young bronze dragon.
I completely zoned out. What's happening?
You are turning into a bronze dragon.
I do not resist.
There is an explosion of water and air as Adora's form turns into this creature. You are now, let's see, size large. So you can grab 2 medium creatures without a check on your turn should you choose to.
Alright.
Alright, does that end your turn, Sharad, or that was just your action?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let Joseph haul me onto the boat.
Alright, Joseph, it's your turn. You are above water. The boat is 10 feet away. You can use your movement, 20 feet of it, to get to the boat, and another 10 feet to climb on board.
Joseph's gonna be like, well, for once you have found a spell that doesn't burn things and is more useful than the rest of your arsenal. As I cast Thunderstep to get me and him onto the ship.
Let me take a quick look at Thunderstep.
Damn, it's not even on here, really.
I'm just looking at what the radius of that is. Range 90 feet. Oh, okay. Each creature within 10 feet of the space you left. So everybody is pretty well spaced out, and you're physically holding onto Sharad. However, you do send out a shockwave that the water carries through, reducing the damage from 3d10 thunder to 1d10 bludgeoning as it whacks into your allies. I need everyone who's still in the water to make a Constitution saving throw as they get slapped in the face by this tidal wave your friend has created.
Hold on. I need to find a young bronze dragon.
So that would be 8 damage for full and 4 for half, depending on the rolls.
What's the save?
Constitution. So make a save for both yourself and Piddlewick.
Piddlewick is up on the boat.
Okay, gotcha. Are there any other players? So Malleus is on the boat. Joseph and Sharad are thunderstepping onto the boat. Dora and Piddlewick are in the water. Xavier's on the boat. So that just leaves the captain.
Is on the boat.
Oh, right. So the captain is still in the water, I believe?
Yeah, along with the crew.
Alright, so he passes his save, taking only a tiny amount of damage from the wave. The rest of the crew is so far away that they are not affected by the wave. It just kind of rolls over them. But the constitution of a dragon's their saving throw for constitution is +7. So let me have you roll 1d20 plus 7, Adora.
I rolled a nat 1.
How the fuck?
Alright. You take 8 bludgeoning damage as this 15-foot tidal wave caused by the thunderstep slaps you in the face. It's make an athletics check or an acrobatics check to stay above water. You have advantage because you're size large.
And he's amphibious.
So he can breathe, so he doesn't really have to worry about drowning, thankfully.
Oh, wait, can you breathe underwater? Never mind then.
Yeah, bronze dragons are amphibious.
Never mind. You don't need to pass a check.
Water, so.
Yeah, you have a swim speed. You'll be fine. Never mind. Alright, it is now the captain's turn. So he's going to grab onto the rope that was thrown to him and grab one of his elven crewmates and use the rope to pull himself on board along with his crewmate. There's still 9 elven and 9 elven crew members in the water. Alright, Malleus, it is your turn.
Alright, so I'm gonna get a. Is it possible to find a rope that's tied to one of the masts and tie myself onto it?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna do that, and then while that's happening, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can at least tidy up some ropes to help with the mast.
Alright. So, since you don't have proficiency in sea vehicles, if you want to attempt to figure out which of these sails is the storm jig that's meant for these situations, I need you to make an intelligence check for me. You need to actively figure out which is which right now. You have no idea. All right, you can do one other thing on your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, seeing as I'm tied up, I'm gonna try to help people get up onto the boat themselves.
You are on the center of the boat, so you're far too far away to reach over and grab people.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and brace myself for any rockings that might come.
Good idea.
So with rope and bracing.
Gotcha. Xavier, what would you like to do? You've successfully thrown enough ropes into the water for everyone to climb aboard. You can fish around with Malleus to find the storm jig, or you can do something else. All right, roll it. All right, mercifully, Captain Moxley labeled all of the sails for you, but the ink that he used had mostly washed off. You passed over it a dozen times, but you take a second look, and you can see in very faded black ink there's a sail that reads Storm Jig. All right. So using your action, I need you to make a wisdom check at disadvantage to try to assemble this sail and get this boat upright. You do not succeed. But you do have the storm jig attached. You try to get the storm jig attached, but you're not sure where the hooks and the clasps and latches are supposed to go. So you end up just fumbling with it, and you don't have a chance to attach it.
Wait, we're about to have a young dragon come on board.
I have a plan. Don't worry. I've been thinking about this. So, what I would like to do is, with a flying speed of 80 feet, how many times would I be able to go out and back to the ship, rescuing the crew?
So it is. Did I say you were 10 feet or 15 feet away from the boat?
I think you said 10. I don't remember.
Okay, so if you're 10 feet away, you can go forward and back, would be one trip, and that's 20 feet. You can take 2 people per turn, or per trip, and you have 4 trips. So you can take a total of 8 people without having to make a check. You can make a check if you want to grab more. But keep in mind that could result in a failure in you dropping everyone.
Yes. So, I will make the amount of trips I can do with 80 feet, and then using an action, I would like to act as sort of a windbreak for the sails, making sure that using my wings to make it to where the wind isn't hitting the sails.
Alright, so the captain took 1 person with him, so that's 1 elf. You can take... Are you taking elves or humans?
Whoever.
Alright, just for the sake of convenience, I'm going to say you take 8 elves. So there's just 1 last elf who is still drowning, and then the humans are on the edge clinging to it right now. Now, if you want to stand there with your wings out to act as a windbreak, I need you to make an athletics check to see if you're strong enough, because these are high-speed winds pelting you in the back with rain and debris.
Avery is out for blood.
As you spread your mighty 15-foot wingspan to attempt to break the wind. What's up?
Uh, I would like to use a legendary action. Or is that only a boss thing?
You're a young black bronze dragon. They don't have legendary actions. They do have regional effects.
Yeah, that it. Okay, so one of the regional effects is once per day, the dragon can alter the weather in a 6-mile radius center. Okay, it would require a lair. But if I had a lair, which in this case could technically be the ship, I could alter the weather within a 6-mile radius.
Fuck. I don't know whether or not we could consider the boat your lair. Let me give a quick search to see if anyone else has made this decision before.
That is a very good question too, because I mean, I would think it would take time to make a lair, but if it could be considered a lair, that'd be fucking awesome.
I personally consider like wherever I'm sleeping is my lair. And since I'd be sleeping on the ship, technically it would be considered my lair.
I'm not quickly finding anything, and that's a very good argument, so I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to say that that works. So you can alter the weather in a 6-mile radius, so you can personally, using control weather, just dispel this entire storm.
Yeah, I literally just googled lair. The definition: a wild animal's resting place, especially one that is well hidden. So yeah, I'll just once I get like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I'm just going to make the weather normal.
Oh yeah, shit, you can just make the weather normal for like 6 miles in all directions. That's handy.
I fucking love dragons.
Dragons are the shit, man. Alright.
You morph, don't you?
Hold on. Real quick thought here. Are dragons secretly the gods of the Dungeons and Dragons world? Because seriously, the way they have their regional effects and
Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, they're basically petty gods, so kind of. Alright. So, as a bolt of lightning strikes down, headed straight to murder that one last elven drowning victim, it apparates and disappears, as well as the clouds, which just sort of disappear. The temperature returns to a cool 75 degrees, and the wind calms to a gentle breeze. You are all safe, and it is very easy to recover that last elf who's out at sea and get everybody back on board. With the captain on board, he's able to assemble the mast again and set sail.
The elf probably browned himself.
Well, he's wearing his brown pants, so you're not sure. But it does smell like shit in here.
You see, he's smart. He wore his brown pants.
Exactly.
But hey, great idea, great plan.
probably didn't work out how you thought it would, but holy shit, that worked out better than it would probably.
Okay, so the storm has kind of carried you away. You are now a little over 5 miles away from the coast, and you're also 5 miles farther east. Do you all immediately set sail again, or is there anything you want to do before you continue? What's your plan here?
Joseph might want to take a long rest, only because he wants. I want to get my Wiki stuff back, and he's probably like, I think I've had enough of sea for a while, Captain. Permission to go below deck and nap.
Granted.
I'm also gonna take a long nap too.
Shoret's gonna tell Adora, now I gotta release, as awesome as that is, I gotta release the spell.
Hold on.
Hold on, don't do that quite yet.
Because there is if the dragon dies, which I guess in this case, removing the polymorph will be that. Change weather reverts to normal as described in the spell, and any other effects fade in 1d10 days. So just thought I'd also say that real quick.
So the effects stay in this specific region for 1d10 days. Roll it, but you're going to be leaving this 6-mile radius very shortly.
Yes.
But for a week, the surrounding area does have very calm and wonderful weather. Alright, so since you are all taking a long rest, and so are all the crew members, the boat is just kind of adrift. The sails are actually up so that you don't get blown off course. The boat does not move for the next 8 hours. Anyone who knows mending, can I have you make an investigation check to locate all of the parts of the ship that were damaged and repair them?
Can I help with that, being with my knowledge of the boat?
Yes, you can give Xavier advantage.
Take it, Xavier.
Alright, it takes about 4 hours for you to find all of the cracks and splinters that have punctured this boat. But finally, you're able to patch up all the holes, shovel out all the water, and get sailing once again. The sun is starting to set at this point because it's been about 16 hours since you all got on the boat this morning. And it is now dark as fuck out.
Joseph actually looks at Xavier and goes, I think I finally figured out a name for this ship. The Endurance.
I find that quite endearing.
God damn it.
I shall endure that name for a while.
Alright, it is official. You are now sailing the SS Endurance. With us on board, it needs that name. Yes, it does.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. I looked for Shara to make sure he's not putting anything on.
He's not.
Really, Adora?
What?
Oh, God. Your
Okay.
goal is to become a bronze.
Just permanently become a bronze dragon. Why not? You'd need true polymorph for that. That'd be cool, though. So, as you all...
Good thing I know someone who has that spell. Unless he's just an idiot still in...
I'm not really much for true polymorph. I'm more for mass polymorph.
I wasn't saying you, I was saying Astashan. Astashan, idiot wizard. You, smart wizard.
To a degree.
Alright, is there anything you want to do on this ship before we roll for another encounter?
Yeah, I got one. I would like to play a game of dice with the crew and get their gold.
The crew members have 10 gold pieces each on their person. They're not going to bet all of it. Roll a d8 for me.
Seven.
Alright, so 7 crew members are willing to play dice with you, each one betting 5 gold into the pot.
Alright. To kind of like encourage them, I'm gonna put down 50 and say, whoever beats me gets.
Ooh, roll another d8 then.
Oh.
14 of the 20 crew members take you up on your bet. So let's do some rolls. It's going to be just the standard 3d6 dice game.
So I just roll 3d6. Oh, wait. Oh. Ooh.
So roll 3d6. If there are 3 rounds, whoever gets the whoever wins 2 rounds wins the pot.
Alright, so I just roll
I
straight,
think
no
that
modifiers.
last dude won.
Unless you have proficiency in dice, in which case you can add that to your roll. Do you have
I do.
All right. What is your bonus?
It is a +7.
All right. Your cap will be a total score of 18, but go ahead and roll 3d6 plus 7. Nice. So you win the first round. All right, roll again.
Someone rolled an 18.
Oof.
All right. So you lose round 2, and one of the humans wins round 2. All right, roll again.
Highest is 16.
Lucky only affects 1 dice, unfortunately. Fuck. Oh well.
I like how the last 3 dice are 3, 2, 1.
All right. So with 3 different people winning 3 different rounds, it's going into sudden death. It is now down to the 3 of you, and whoever gets the highest wins the whole pot. So you're rolling against 2 people in a sudden death.
Alright. $21.
And with your expertise flicking the dice, you were able to roll the dice almost with a curve. All the dice sort of roll on their ends and end up exactly where you wanted them to. You were able to take 14 times 5 gold, so 70 gold pieces.
Joseph just smiles, says, "Ah, well done, gentlemen. Thank you for playing."
They all kind of grumble and complain as you swindle them out of their money with your trick dice skills.
Hey, just a luck in the roll.
All right, Shorat is going to try to contact Shani with sending. Let me look up that spell real quick. I'm just making sure it doesn't have a range limit.
Yeah,
Okay.
plane of existence.
Okay. Nope, just range unlimited. Perfect. Okay, so go ahead and send a message of 25 words or less.
Like, sure, I'd go. We'll say, I've got. Hold on, I am looking for you. Are you still with pirates? With the pirates, you may reply to this message. Did you get that?
Yep. All right. Did you get my message?
Shorad's eyes wide. Okay, I would like to make a history check on that.
Aren't you a drow?
Yes, I am, but my character has pretty much been mostly at Isla de Aranas in that place, that other place that you know that you might want. You're tempted to have me drag everyone to.
Let me post what you know offhand by nature of living in the Drow Society, and then if you have any other questions, you can roll for history with advantage.
Gotcha. Shorad, his eyes widen, and he finds the captain, and he. Okay, is there a map on board?
All of you have a map of Rexland on your person.
I'm referring to a world map here. Oh wait, shutting up. He unfolds the map, and he finds the captain, and he slams his finger on the point. Going, we need to go here now.
He says, it is going to be at least 2 days, possibly 3. We got sidetracked by that storm, and that really slowed us down. It's going to take 2 or 3 days, so hold tight. We are going in that direction.
He's upgraded from tapping his foot to pacing.
So just you're doing this on deck, right?
Yep.
Joseph, once Joseph notices this, Joseph's just gonna kind of like walk up to you, going, "You know, for a wizard, you're not really thinking outside the box. Don't you have any spells to help with the wind? Maybe even transform somebody to help give the boat a push or pull? You
He goes, I do not have gust of wind. I do not have teleport. And I've never been there.
you have poly.
I have Dimension Gate.
You don't no. As far as I know, none of us have been there. We.
I can take one person as long as I know the distance from here and which.
Your dimension door has a limit of 500 feet. It is 200 miles away.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. I had to make a villain use dimension door, like go through all his spell slots to get away from the adventure.
Oh, my bad, my bad. I read it wrong. My bad. I just.
And Shora goes, he's gonna look at Joseph going, dumbass, the fact of the matter is, polymorph only lasts an hour.
That's an hour of a speed boost, is it not? You could have someone transformed into a creature that can tug the boat, or hell, maybe even add wind current to, like, say, a dragon flapping their wings at the sails. You're not thinking like a wizard. And clearly, you're more panicking over whatever's going on in your head than actually thinking.
This is going to be the first time that that Shoran's actually ever done this, because he's a wizard. But he is angry, and he does not like being reprimanded. He's going to punch Joseph.
Oh shit! Roll for hit, I guess.
All right. My little deck turns into a 130-degree angle, and I die instantly. I'm kidding.
I am a wizard, not a cleric.
I know, but it was still funny to bring it back up from that one campaign. Anyway, yeah, you missed. So Joseph just sidesteps that, going, yeah, fine, I'll leave you to your moping. We'd be there faster if you actually started thinking like the person you are, rather than some worrywart. As I walk away.
Okay. Shoran still angry, so he's gonna be so to try and vent. He's gonna be blasting off firebolts into the water, not onto the boat. He's making sure it's away from the boat.
Alright, there's nothing but open sea around you, and your firebolt immediately extinguish upon hitting the water, so you don't have any negative effect that would harm you or your party.
I'm gonna ask Xavier to see if he's got any spells that could help us out. Maybe he can transform, because I've seen a wild shape. Maybe he can transform into something that could help.
By the way, here's the stats on your brigantine, just in case anyone was unaware.
Yeah, I got that up on a window page. Yeah, that's why I brought it up with, like, well, we got, like, stats for the ship when we got hit with that wave.
The damage caused by the wave wasn't nearly enough to sink the ship. It's got a lot of HP. It's got 100 HP.
Yep.
Oh, that's just the sails that have 100 HP. The hull itself has 300 HP, so yeah, it's fine. I'm afraid to say I'm a man who focuses more on the martial arts than being in touch with nature, unfortunately.
Joseph's gonna kind of groan in aggravation. He's going, oh, I'll see if I can't get these sails to catch some good wind then, as I walk off and help the crew and guide the crew to help me get the sails in a favorable.
Alright, make a sailing check. Wisdom plus proficiency. Do you want to try and teach Xavier how to sail?
Sure, I can do that.
Let me have you make an intelligence check, Joseph. Xavier, you need to make an insight check for me.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna waste a lucky just so he can learn. I want to teach this guy.
Okay.
Rolls a 5. Oh.
A bit better.
I'll give it to you. So, with no real time limit, you spend about an hour teaching Xavier how to man the sails. It takes a really long time, and you struggle with it, but he does eventually get the hang of it. Xavier, go ahead and add proficiency with sea vehicles. And
Alright, I'll still make that roll for the sail. Alright, so when we make that roll to see if I can't get the sails in the favorable wind, correct? Or...
yep, wisdom plus proficiency.
That'll be 6.
You can see that the crew members have the ropes in the wrong position, and the weight of the rope is actually in front of one of the sails, stopping it from being fully inflated. You do get a momentary speed boost as you correct that mistake, but you're still averaging only 5 miles per hour.
Well, better than nothing, I suppose.
All right, and with the so you managed to get another 5 miles away from shore. You have another hour before we'll roll for an encounter. What is everybody doing?
Shored is currently still venting.
I'm a cast catnap on him. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, Xavier, how do you want to go around keeping morale up? Are you going to sing a song, put on a show? What's your plan here? Or are you just being super friendly?
Turn into a bear and juggle 3 balls.
I'd pay to see that. Alright. Make a persuasion check and see if you can lift their spirits. Alright. It's not much, it's just a little bit of friendly conversation, but for the next 24 hours, your plus 4 bonus to hit goes up to plus 5 because of the boost in morale.
Woo!
What about you, Adora? I haven't heard from you in a while. What is your character doing for during this next hour?
Since no one is doing it yet, she will go up into the crow's nest and look out.
Alright, make a perception check. You don't have any, I don't think anyone has a spyglass, so you're really just looking with your own 2 eyeballs, and you see nothing but water in all directions, and your field of view is kind of limited by the fog. It would be super helpful if you had a spyglass.
Does anyone down there have a spyglass?
My pixie Morgan comes flying up in her little pirate outfit, holds up a little tiny spyglass. It's perfect for her to adore.
A pixie-sized spyglass?
What?
Did you say she's offering up a pixie-sized spyglass?
Yes.
Just like an inch long?
Yep.
I'm sorry, Adora, but the Chode spyglass does not give you advantage on perception.
I'll just let her then.
I don't even think that will help. I mean,
Actually, wait, how does your pixie have a miniature spyglass?
it was just something for content, context as a joke, really. It wasn't
Gotcha.
meant to be taken seriously.
Your pixie flies up into the crow's nest and looks through these completely fake lenses and pretends to help.
Oh, I find it funny that a couple of people can enjoy my sense of humor and the memes.
Yeah, I saw that meme. Necromancer, what the fuck? Alright, so who wants to roll for the next encounter?
I got it.
Alright, 15. Ooh.
Oh dear
If
God.
this is a Kraken, guys, I'm sorry.
You know, I'm the only one that doesn't roll these 1d100s and nothing. So I don't bring anything bad upon us because I never get the chance to roll. So I'm kind of grateful.
I'm trying to find something specific because I want to flavor this a little bit more than just the bland thing that the chart calls for.
If the pirates, Shorehead needs to vent some steam.
Oh yeah, just so I could. Actually, no, I'll wait till after the encounter. Never mind.
Okay. What is their stealth? One moment.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this going to be, Zeno?
That depends on the mercy of the dice, good sir. So I'm gonna roll a number, and then I'm gonna roll for stealth, and then you're gonna roll for perception, and then we'll see how fucked you truly are.
Oh joy.
But whatever this thing is, how bad will it be?
Well, there's 16 of them, so that bad.
Oh dear God.
Okay, so they are absolute shit on their stealth, despite being blue and in water. With your passive perception, you are all able to see these lovely ladies.
See these?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Are those sirens? I don't know if they are, but
Who wants to make a nature check? Who's proficient in nature?
I think that would have to be the druid.
yeah.
Xavier, you have heard story after story of the wonderful, friendly, and helpful mermaids. They're not particularly strong, they're always out there to help a sailor, and they have very, very small teeth. But these creatures, swimming at you very, very fast, meet the description of mermaids in every category except for they have sharp teeth, and they're very hideous, and they are very, very angry. Can you roll insight on yourself? No.
Almost as if they're sirens.
Oh man. Oh. There's only one way to tell if they're sirens if they start singing and chant the men. And how many men are on this ship? Wait,
Everyone
Adora.
but me.
Yeah, I was about to say, Adora, are you the only female? Oh
I think
no.
it's suiting that I ended up rolling this. Fair enough, Malleus.
All right. Let me take a quick look at what they can and can't do real quick before we launch into what may or may not be a horrible combat. Alright. You see, despite their horrid, ugly faces and their gnashing teeth, you hear a beautiful song. A wondrous, sleepy, drowsy lullaby. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
To go to sleep?
Oh, you're right. Let me pull that spell up real quick.
Would you say that this is a charm?
Let me look it up. I'm thinking of the different spell. Let me pull up the actual rules. Roll 5d8. Creatures that are immune to being charmed are not affected by this spell. So let me roll 5d8 16 times.
You're casting a sleep spell on us, aren't you?
What? Nah. What's 5 times 16?
Okay,
80.
enchantment spell.
Don't
not charm
work
spell.
on Shorad.
What do you mean we'll work on you? What the fuck?
Magic can't put me to sleep.
The fuck?
Oh, same, because we're elves. So literally anyone that isn't an elf falls asleep.
So, but the captain, half the crew, and the only 2 elf players.
Wait, why do I need to roll for 11d10? So, if I remember correctly, it automatically targets those with the lowest HP first. The guards that Xavier has easily have the lowest HP. They have 11. There are 10 of them, so they all immediately knock out.
Uh, I just remembered we never rolled for Geoff or Yuno during that whole sale thing. I think we left them at sea. Savior.
I'm going to roll that they were sleeping below deck because I forgot about them too. No, apparently with sleep, I was wrong. There is no wisdom save. It's just how much HP in ascending order.
Yep.
And are elves not affected by charm?
Elves cannot be put to sleep by magic.
Fun.
And we have resistance to charm.
Okay, so who actually is affected by charm aside from the 10 guards who are now asleep?
Everyone in the party but me and Sherrod.
Well, actually, no. The captain is an elf, and half the crew are elves.
I said in the party.
Oh yeah, but
Everybody
said
who can be affected, post your HP and dice roll, please.
Yes, sir.
So post Yuno is a HP 2. So Morgan goes to sleep next. Still got a budget of 283 to hand out. Malleus, I believe you have the next lowest, so let's put you to sleep.
Does this affect constructs?
No, it would not.
Nice.
Look at his character sheet. It should specifically state one way or the other. Okay.
Constructs.
Is that everybody who's posted? So, next lowest is Joseph with 73. Leaves us with 210. Next lowest is Yuno with 85. She's down. Next lowest is Xavier with 103. He's down. That only leaves us with 68 HP left to go. So Geoff has enough HP in his that he is not affected by this spell. Can someone volunteer to please write down who is asleep and who is not asleep? Okay, so before we roll initiative, do I have everyone who is asleep?
Yep.
Perfect. I would like everyone, even the people who are asleep, to roll for initiative.
Do they roll at disadvantage? I'm kidding.
I mean, they're going to be asleep anyway, so.
Don't mind my casual 29.
You have the alert feat, don't you?
Of course, I'm making it to where every character that ends up getting feats will have the alert feat because it's just really good.
It's kind of like how every wizard I have is pretty much going to have polymorph.
Adora, you did an initiative check. Oh no, wait, is she? Yeah, you're not up here for some reason.
What? Oh, because I did see it. Sorry, don't mind my casual 30, not 29.
So it's just one more. What's the difference other than the one?
Laughing in Elvish.
All right.
Giggles in,
I'll be right back.
in Fantasy Southern. Giggles ironically in Fantasy Southern. So, by the way, Doom Eternal's out.
Yep. The Savior, you gonna bring Yuno into this or no?
I'm excited to play Doom Eternal.
Guys, I think I figured out what I'm wearing for graduation.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to show you all a picture. So give me just a fat moment.
I hope it's not you, Nick.
Oh no, and don't worry, this isn't a picture of me, but a picture of what I'm thinking about wearing, you know?
God damn it.
Let's not bring God into this.
God
You
damn
mean,
it.
you mean, you mean the celestial figure that isn't real?
No, I mean Zeno, because then he might actually do some shit with that.
Fair enough.
Alright, so the sleep spell lasts for 1 minute. You notice that all of these beautiful, evil mermaid creatures have tridents, and they are 50 feet away from the edge of the boat. Has everyone rolled for initiative?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
See,
I almost want them to stab me with that trident so I can wake up, but at the same time, I feel like they'll drag me to the depths.
You
Hey,
can
have
take
you
an
guys-
action. Hold on. You can take an action to wake up a friend.
Yeah, but my ass is asleep. Geoff could probably slap me awake, but that'll actually hurt. Wake up, puny rogue! Pap! Yeah, but remember, he's all muscle. He might just hurt you, slapping me awake.
Alright. So, Adora, 50 feet away from the edge of the boat, which is where I'm assuming you currently are, unless you say otherwise, you can see that there are 16 sirens in a pod with their tridents raised above water. They're all in a line 5 feet apart from each other. They appear to be trying to surround the boat, and they look like they're about ready to huck these spears at your faces.
Alright. I'm use a bonus action to, let's see. I'm going to use my Blood Curse of the Marked on one of them so that I can deal double my Crimson Right damage. And then I will fire 2 crossbow shots at it.
Alright, so there are 80 of them. I'm assuming you're just hitting the one closest to you. There's 16 of them in an 80-foot line. I'm assuming you're just aiming dead center.
Yes. Unless if it has an AC of 28 or higher, it takes 20 damage.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, no, I take that back. If they have an AC of 25 or higher, they only take 10 damage.
Okay. Yeah, no. Both of those attacks hit. Were you both shooting at one individual creature?
Yes, this will be the second one online because the first one has been marked for double Crimson Right damage.
So is that a total of 20 damage, or how much damage are they taking?
Only 20 because I can't activate my Crimson Right damage yet.
Gotcha. And does that end your turn?
Yes.
Guess whose turn it is? The Siren. So there's 4 groups of 4, 80-foot line, 16 in total, and all of them, just in unison, are going to start, they're going to swim forward 30 feet and just start hucking their tridents at you. For the sake of easy math, I'm going to visualize them as if they were all in a single point, rather than calculating exactly how many are outside their range. And I'm going to say, since you attacked first, Adora, The group of 4, the group of 8, right dead in the center, are all going to huck theirs at you, whereas the other 8 on the flanks are going to huck at other people.
They can try to hit me.
Confirmed. It's Vlad.
Confirmed it's what?
Vlad.
I have no idea what you are talking about.
God damn it.
How many of those hit you, friend?
The 220. 1, 2, 3. Holy shit, 5 of them. Unless if they have some sort of like recall, like how Thor can call his hammer.
I think the worst part is if they would have ropes at the end of them. Because I mean, if they impaled you, they can drag you in.
As far as you can tell, you don't see any ropes attached to the tridents. This appears to be an opening volley.
As far as I know, all I can see on the back of my eye.
Alright, how many of those hit you, Adora?
5.
Uh, 15, 24, 30, 39, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's damage. That's definitely damage.
I imagine that stings a little bit. So you all watch as just this swarm of tridents fall upon Adora, 5 of which perforate Adora's torso, just flip, 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 flip. They are all stuck in there with their barbs. These are going to be a bitch to pull out. You can't even see in front of you because the handles of 5 tridents are obscuring your field of vision. You're going to have to take these out on your turn.
I'm just going to give them the biggest death glare I can.
The next volley is going to be aimed at the captain, Captain Moxley. There's a pod of 4 that are all throwing their 4 tridents at him.
Deja vu, babadi space before.
No, like in yesterday's session with Meta, I fought Sohologans and one of them threw a spear at my character, downing me.
Oh, so you guys didn't have to fight the human spider.
No, he's probably saving that for a later day.
3 of those hit. 1 of those is a nat 20. That's double damage. I'm going to double the dice because that's easier. 6 plus 4, so that's 4d6 plus 16.
Ironically enough, Dora, we were also on a boat.
Alright, you watch as the captain gets pelted with, Wait, I did that wrong. Only 2 of those hit. I rolled the wrong number of dice. One moment.
Boo! So that means you just need to roll 3d6, right?
Yep, 3d6 plus 12. 22. Okay. So you watch as the captain takes 2 tridents to the chest, 1 in each pectoral, and he stumbles backwards, nearly falling over, but his crewmates help him steady himself. He is bleeding severely. He's struggling to breathe, but he's still kicking, and he's still got plenty of fight in him. The last pod of 4 are all going to target one of the players who is still awake. Let me take a quick stock of who is still awake. I should have pinned it. I knew I should have. Alright. So, Xavier is asleep Joseph is asleep. Sharad is awake. So the pod of 4 is going to target Sharad simply because he has the nerve to still be awake after 16 sirens blared their siren song. Is that a reaction?
Indeedly do.
I'm assuming that raises your armor class by 5? Yes, it does.
Shield, the ultimate freaking trump card of the wizard.
What is your new armor class?
It's up to 17, so 2 of them hit.
Alright, you take 13 points of non-magical piercing damage as the sirens decide that you look much better with pierced nipples.
Shora does not think so. As a matter of fact, he is angry.
And that is going to end the siren volley of tridents. They are now unarmed, and they do not appear to be taking any actions to retrieve them. Xavier, it is your turn, but I believe... Are you asleep?
He is. Rockabye
Yes, you are.
or key.
Alright, so no one has taken an action to wake up Xavier. There's no save for it in the sleep spell, so you are just out. Joseph.
Fuck yeah.
You are
I'm
also
asleep.
out. Sharad.
Shorad is not happy. He's not. He is being waylaid to help to help the one who saved him. So he's gonna go. You know what? F you all! And he pulls out the two ingredients for Fireball.
Oh,
Your arms clank over the tridents in your arms. It takes your entire bonus action to rip them out of your chest, and they do take a little bit of flesh with them.
Okay, he will do that, and he will pull out the two ingredients, bat guano and sulfur for Fireball, and he's gonna lob it at the greatest cluster of sirens as he can.
Alright, so imagine a line of 16 of them, all spaced 5 feet apart, or if it's easier, imagine 4 groups of 4 all right next to each other.
Alright.
So, what's the radius that you can affect?
20 feet, 20-foot radius, so 40 feet total.
So you can affect the 8 in the center if you want to.
He is going to do that. He's gonna be hucking that sucker and roll dex saves. All those 8, and he's going 5th level on this sucker.
Nice.
God. Got a temper there, buddy?
What? You're saying that the arsonist has a temper? What?
What's the save, friendo?
I believe it is 17. Let me double check. It does not tell me from this, but 8 plus.
Should be on your character sheet, shouldn't it?
Should be.
Yeah, but every time I switch over, it has to reload it. So
I'll check your character sheet real quick.
If you could, please.
His save is 17.
Okay. So the first one passes, taking only 20 damage, but after already taking 20 damage, that character died. Next, fails, so that's minus 41. That one is also dead. Next, 23. That is a success. Only minus 20. Next, 13. That is a failure. That siren is dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 17. That is a pass. Minus 20. Pass. Minus 20. And fail and fail. So that's dead and dead. So let me just give you a brief description of what the hell you just did by throwing a fireball into the water. So as you cast this fireball into the water, all the surrounding water turns to steam, boiling 8 of these sirens. The group on the front left, that group of 4, 3 of them are dead and 1 of them is severely burned. On the group on the front right, 2 of them are dead and the other 2 are severely wounded. So you have managed to kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 8 sirens in the dead center of the pod. So that's a pretty good hit. You got a bonus action, friendo?
Shorad is still pissed. They're not dead. They're not all dead.
You killed 5 of them! Anyone want Steam's Siren Tales?
He's basically going to be roaring out at the sirens.
All right.
So yeah, he has to turn after the roar.
All right. Joseph, I believe you're the pilot of Geoff.
I am, and Geoff has multi-attack, if I'm not mistaken.
But does he have any ranged attacks?
They're 20 feet away from the edge of the boat.
His closest ranged attack is a spear, and he's not giving that up. But the multi-attack is for something else. It's gonna go over to Joseph first. I don't know how far Joseph is from him.
I'm assuming you all stay within 30 feet of each other as a force of habit.
So he's gonna go up to Joseph, just kind of kneel down, like, "Hey, wake up!" Slap him awake.
Oh, multi-attack. I see what you're saying. Okay. How many attacks does he have?
He has 3 melee attacks.
All right, so he can wake up 3 people
attack.
on his turn.
Yep, so he's gonna wake up Joseph, he's then gonna wake up Xavier, and let's see, Malice, that's the other player. Don't think there's any other players that are asleep now.
You're waking up Joseph and who else?
Joseph, Malice, and Xavier. He's going, "Hey, wake up!"
All right. So Joseph, Malleus, and Xavier, you all feel a hard slap across your face as you see a big, buff gladiator man striking you across the face with way more force than he needed to. Calm down.
I'm gonna say, "Mommy, is that you?"
No, it's Daddy.
Not where I come from.
All right, does that end Geoff's turn?
Yeah, it says, dude, for Joseph, he's just gonna sit up and be like, "Oh, really?"
Oof.
It
Ooh.
reminds me of the days at the monastery. The fuck happened to you at that monastery? All right, Yuno is still asleep though.
Oh, that reminds me of a certain Catholic church.
Malleus, you are awakened by a slap. You are still prone. It takes 15 feet of movement to get up, and 15 feet of movement if you want to get to the edge. What do you do, Malleus?
Let's see here. Let me see what.
I'm sorry, if you said something, I did not hear you.
So, I have an idea. What if I cast Ray of Sickness into the water? Would that poison the water?
That is a good question. Let me look at the spell deeds.
It shoots energy beam towards the target, and when it hits the target, it needs to do a Constitution check or do 3d poison damage.
Why can't I find a link for it? Why is this so hard to find?
It's a spell I bought.
I should have access to it. Here we go. Okay. So it's not actually poison. It's a ray of energy. It takes 2d8 poison damage and affects one target. So, I would say that even though it's only a ray of energy, once it hits the water, it's going to like diffract and scatter. So that would probably poison about a 5-foot radius. So depending on how you aim it, you could affect a total of 3 sirens.
Let's say if I put it at 4th level.
All right, same radius of effect, but I'm assuming that increases the damage. So they need to make a con save, correct? So their constitution is +1. Let me roll for 3 of them. What is your saving throw on your character sheet?
It's a 15. I can't raise it up from level 2, so I'm just.
It's a 15? Okay. So 2 of them succeed, 1 of them fail. On a failed save, they are poisoned. Okay, so 1 of them is poisoned and takes 2d8 damage.
$3d8 damage.
Oh, okay, I see what it says. Make a ranged spell attack, but you're hitting the water, so I'll still give you that. So I will. So they take the damage regardless because they're in poisoned water. So go ahead and roll damage.
You gotta spell exclamation mark cast and then Ray of Frost. I mean Ray of Sickness.
All right.
Ray of Frost, Ray of Sickness is not an ab race, so you're just gonna have to type it out manually.
I already put it in, and it says 14 damage.
That's for 2d12 though. Your spell does 3d8. So roll the
Why
actual
is it
dice.
poison spray? I didn't cast poison spray.
Roll the dice.
Roll the dice. Roll the dice.
$12. 12 damage.
Okay. So if you want to catch 3 at a time, you're going to have to pick either the pod on the left or the pod on the very right. Which one are you choosing?
Left.
Okay, so 3 of them get poisoned. They're not dead, but or excuse me, 3 of them take poison damage. 1 of them gets poisoned. You can see as you're hitting the water, instead of trying to hit an individual, the water just sort of turns this like venomous green color that they'll kind of swim uncomfortably in. Their skin kind of crawls as this poison burns at their skin. Any other bonus actions or movement you'd like to make on your turn? Or no, wait, you're right.
I just made my bonus action, so I'm gonna make an action because I used my quicken spell. I'm gonna cast
You cut out. What are you casting?
Crown of Madness. I'm a sorcerer, so I can make quicken spells.
Okay. Put exclamation point and then cast and then the name of the spell so I can see what it does. God damn it. Alright, so choose one humanoid. Are they humanoids? They are not humanoids, they are Fae.
Really? Holy shit!
Yep, sirens are considered Fae.
Oh, that means they could probably understand Sylvan. At least I would think they would, being Fae, but I have no.
You can certainly try to talk to them in Sylvan and see if they respond. But no, rules as written, it does specifically say humanoids, which they are not.
I mean, I would believe that too, especially being as the upper body looks pretty.
So, Malleus, your character, being a sorcerer, would be aware that they wouldn't be affected. I'll let you use a different spell that doesn't specifically call out humanoids.
Catnap.
Isn't that a self spell though?
Up to 3 willing creatures of your choice fall unconscious.
Okay. I've been really willing creatures. Okay, I just read creatures. Shit. I guess just magic mist.
There you go.
Roll damage. Are you targeting all of them on one creature or spreading the love?
One creature.
You have to cast it multiple, or wait. No, roll the actual dice, because when you cast it, it only actually shoots 1 dart. So roll the actual dice.
Okay, I rolled the other 2 dices then. Since I'll just take that one, is that okay?
Sure. Alright, so 4 plus 3 is 7. You strike one of them for 7 force damage.
Alright, and then I end my turn.
Alright, so now it is the captain and his crew member's turn. So let me see if the veteran is even awake. Yes, he's an elf. So the captain is going to order his 10 elves to give a wake-up slap with their action to the 10 human guards.
All together, men. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. So he is going to use his bonus action to start shouting orders. You do this, you go there, you slap him. Slap him harder. Okay, not that hard. Jesus, calm down. And then he will use his actual action to draw his heavy crossbow. Alright, he has only +3 to hit. That's not very good for a veteran. What's happening here?
On 3, everybody. 1.
Illiterates on 3. 3. Slap.
Honestly, I could believe the one part. Like, he goes, one random person decides to slap suitors. Like, what? I thought we were going to immediately.
The veteran...
That would have been me.
The veteran goes to fire his crossbow, but it is waterlogged and it jams, and he spends his entire action clearing the jam. Adora, it is your turn.
That's Ms. Annette 30 to you. Kidding, I'm kidding. Okay, so I am going to activate my Crimson Right, which is Right of the Storm, so I deal lightning damage. And I'm going to fire 2 crossbow bolts at the one that I marked. And yes, that is what I'll do. And it will take an extra 40 points of lightning damage.
Okay. Even though it doesn't specifically call it out, I think it's way more interesting if water does have an effect. So I'm going to say all of the... Oh, or I thought you were casting lightning. Oh, they are casting lightning. What?
Okay, so what my Blood Right does is it can deal extra damage of a certain type. And that type is lightning damage in this case.
Gotcha. Okay. So, the 10 lightning damage for both of those attacks, I say will go in a 5-foot radius around, carried by the water. So,
Well, since I amplified it on that one specifically, to that one it dealt 40 lightning damage.
how did you double the damage of both of those attacks?
Because the last turn I used my bonus action to use Curse of the Mark, and I marked that enemy, and it deals double Crimson Right to that enemy.
Okay. So, I understand what you're saying. Here's how I'm going to describe what happened. So, because I want to give you the benefit of the doubt and make this as effective as you want it to be. You shoot, you aim for the pod on the right and shoot the 2 of them in the center each. The 2 in the center die from lightning damage alone. Just because, like, 40 damage with that 5-foot radius plus the bow, they're dead. No chance of coming back. And then that 20 lightning damage radiates away to the 2 on the sides. So the ones on the very left and very right of that specific pod both take 20 damage. So 2 are dead and 2 more are wounded severely.
That's all I got.
Alright, so you killed 2 and wounded 2 others.
That's what it sounds like.
Perfect. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
That was my action bonus action.
Alright, it is now the sirens' turn, and a lot of them have died. Holy shit, I thought this would be a harder encounter. Because there are 16 Sierra 3 creatures. But holy shit. Okay. Let's see how many there are left alive. Alright, the remaining, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, there's so many.
Well, I think I killed at least 5 of them. I don't know about the ray of sickness, but at least the lightning bolts killed at least 2 of them.
So there are 9 still alive. And the 9 that are still alive are going to exchange glances and cast greater invisibility on themselves. And then they are going to dive underwater. We are still in initiative, but that is what they are going to do with their turn. They are invisible and underwater.
I am going. Yeah, never mind. Not far, too far away.
So they were 20 feet away. You can.
So one of them counterspell.
Let me check the. Let me see what the spell level is. It's 4th level. So are you casting it at 4th level, or are you rolling for it?
I'm gonna be rolling for it.
Okay,
That
make a
means
DC 14
me.
check.
Yeah.
Alright, you succeed on counterspelling one of them. But that siren is still going to dive underwater. And in fact, you can see the splashes for all of them going straight down. But it is now Xavier's turn. Alright, so they are underwater, so they cannot be targeted by your Radiant Sunbolt. Alright, so Joseph, same thing to you. You can only visibly see one of them. It is 30 feet underwater. The rest are invisible. What do you do?
Well, if it's 30 feet underwater, it probably won't hear me as far as I know. I'm not jumping in there. That's suicidal. Uh, hmm. Fuck. Let's see. What can I do? I think I'll wake up Morgan by shaking her awake and then basically Let's see, I can control with my bonus action, if I remember. And I'll have her go invisible and fly out into the over the ocean to kind of like be our eyes.
Okay. From her vantage point, she's still above the water, so she can only see what you see. And that's one visible siren 30 feet underwater, and the rest are invisible.
Oh shit! It's not gonna help much. I think okay. Let's see. In combat, familiar rolls. Fuck. I think I'll just spend my action to wake her up. I used my bonus action to control her. I think that's about it.
All right. Sure, Ed. You got anything that can pierce the water?
Well, I got a few things, but I might have a better one because at least I'll be able to help direct them in the direction of where they're at. He's gonna cast See Invisibility
Nice.
on himself. He can only do it on himself. Alright, so that he can see them. So, but he can't really do anything else right now.
All right. It's Geoff's turn.
And the neat thing is that it's not concentration.
Alright, so Geoff's gonna kind of look at Joseph going, I can take her, boss. Just let me go in the water. I'm like, don't do it. Just stay on the boat. I'll have him hold his action at the edge of the boat of the ship in case something tries to climb over and basically the spear.
Sounds good. You know. Xavier, does you know have anything that can go underwater? It would not. Magic is going to extinguish itself once it hits that surface of the water. So unless you have like control water, Cone of Cold, that makes sense. I'm going to half the range on that because it is still has mass to go through. But yeah, cold definitely does affect water. So I believe it naturally has a 60-foot range. So I'm going to shorten that to 30. One second, calculating how many of these creatures that you can actually affect at once. There is a pod of 4 that aren't dead that are still close together that you can hit with a 30-foot radius. So they need to make con saves, you said? One moment. Alright, what's the save? None of them succeed. Roll damage. Nice. Alright, so let me describe to you what happens so you understand what I'm visualizing. As you shoot this cone of cold, there's this beam of extremely cold energy that shoots out. It has to push water out of its way in order to impact. And you can see the water crystallizing as this wave of cold forces its way through the water. 4 of them get captured in this ice and freeze. 3 of which die immediately. The other 4th is trapped within this cone of ice, but as it is in water, it is now frozen in water, and ice floats. So this 30-foot cone of water then floats to the surface, and there are 3 dead and 1 barely alive siren bobbing and floating above the water, unable to retreat.
Oh shit.
So, Malleus, it is your turn. There is a floating iceberg, one of which still has a surviving siren in it, in this 30-foot cone of ice. The others are 20 feet forward, 30 feet down, and invisible, except for one that you can see. What do you do, Malleus?
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast another magic missile.
So, as stated earlier, magic, aside from a few specific element types, is going to dispel as soon as it hits the water, because it's hitting a solid surface. So, do you have lightning, thunder, or cold damage?
I thought there was one trapped on top of an iceberg or something.
Oh, you're hitting the one in the iceberg? Sure. Alright, go ahead and roll for damage while you're hitting the one trapped in the iceberg. Three D4, not 324.
Autocorrect.
I like how it tries to include TH plus 2, as if it's a thing. Alright, the first 6 damage, the first 2 missiles are just blasting away ice trying to get to this creature. The third and final missile manages to cleave its way through and hit the creature for 1 damage, which is enough to kill it.
Alright, and then after that, I'm gonna cast Mirror Image on my.
So guys, when you cast a spell, can you cast it in Discord so I can see what it does? I don't have these spells memorized.
I was in the midst of typing.
Perfect, thank you.
What spell did you cast?
Mirror Image. 3 illusory duplicates of yourself. Excellent. Alright, it is now the captain's turn. So with the captain and all 20 of the guardsmen awake, I'm going to roll for insight and see if he can figure out what's going on. He cannot. He just stands in the he just stands at the ready and orders him and his men to ready in action to attack should anything come over the edge. Adora, it is your turn.
Alright, can I see any of them?
Only one of them is not invisible, and it is 30 feet below water, 20 feet in front of you. The rest are invisible.
Okay, then I'll just pew pew.
With what type of magic? Because it's probably going to be dispelled.
I'm using my crossbow.
Alright, roll at disadvantage, because the water diffracts the light and makes it harder to hit targets.
Alright, and they will still be it will still take a 20. If both of them hit, they'll still take my Crimson Ride damage. That doesn't go away until I drop, throw, or end a rest.
Gotcha.
15 and 18?
At disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, both of those hit. Let me see who you can actually reasonably hit.
So it will take a 46 damage.
46 damage in total?
Yes, I'm aiming for 1.
Okay. Because of the spacing between them, they're so far apart. One of them dies instantly. The, what is that? 13 plus 13 is 26. That is enough to nearly kill the other.
Oh, I'm saying in total. That's what the right damage included is 46.
Alright, let me run some numbers. So the actual crossbows themselves deal a total of 26 damage. Okay. So then roll for the actual... How much lightning damage are you doing?
The Crimson Rite damage is based on my level. Since I'm level 10, it one bolt will deal 10 damage. So 2 bolts deal 20 damage total in right damage.
And it's lightning damage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's no way, you're saying in total. Never mind. I was gonna say if it's in based off your level, wouldn't it be 10 damage per attack? But then you were adding them together, so shutting.
Okay.
I know my stuff.
I just misheard you. Okay.
Alright.
Numbers don't work fast for me. Okay. I hate.
Yeah, it is really hard to process some of this shit. Okay. So, as you hit one of them twice with the crossbow bolts, which is, would not be enough to kill them on their own, but with your lightning damage, you kill that one, and just the lightning radiating off of that kills the siren next to them. So there are now a total of 4, all of which are massively spread out across the ocean.
So that's 4 out of 16. Oh no, wait, didn't sure I'd kill 5, so that's 9 out of 16. These poor souls.
Alright, so it is now the siren's turn, and you can only see one of them, but you assume the others are doing the exact same thing, and you see it charge the boat.
Geoff just basically warming up his swinging arm.
Alright, but you notice they're not charging over the boat, they're charging below the boat, attacking the helm. They're trying to make you dead in the water.
Oh.
So they ram the helm at top speed with their dash, shoulder checking into the wood. Let me see if they can hit.
Armor class is 18. Let's see them do it.
Yep. All of you had actions ready for when they went overboard. Three of them hit.
Oh shit.
Let me see what their strength is. 0. Okay. They all crash into the helm of the ship, causing 10 damage. You can hear the wood splinter as they crash through the wood. Your boat is taking on a small amount of water, and if you had to guess, your helm is about 4/5 away from being completely destroyed. And you can tell by the fact that they didn't move away after they hit it that they're probably going to try to do this again. They are below deck on the other side of the wall, destroying your ship. Alright, Xavier, you are above deck. Everybody is with 30 feet away from the door that goes downwards. So you can either go overboard and swim towards them, or you can go below deck where they're attacking your ship and try to fight them off from the other side of the ship as the ship is taking on water.
What?
Here we go. So if you go down to the hold, this will give you an idea of where everything is. So that trapdoor is what you're 30 feet away from. You can go all the way down to the hold, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet away from that is where they're attacking your ship. All right. So you dash below deck, and you're right there. Your water is flooding over your ankles, as you can see through the crack in the water. Beyond this stream of water, that there are these sirens clawing at the boat and ripping it apart. What do you do? They're tearing apart the boat, so no, you wouldn't do any damage to the boat. All right, roll for hit. Alright, so you strike at the one that isn't invisible with your radiant sunbolt, blasting her in the face. Her face whips around to the side, and she is singed by that radiant energy, but she is not dead. Oh, right, you're right. All right, Joseph, you're 30 feet away from the trapdoor leading to the hold. What do you do?
Okay. Shit. Fuck.
You can jump overboard and into the water and fight them directly, or you can go down below deck where you're going to be calf deep in water and try to fight them face to face-ish.
Ah, fuck. Swimming is probably not the best option, and my constitution's at the high, so I'm gonna go down there. I think I can use my bonus action to dash or what is it? That's reaction.
I believe it's
Cunning
cunning
action.
action dash.
Yep, dash, disengage, or hide. So I'm gonna use my cunning action to dash down there to get to where they are.
All right, so you dash down there. You go. You run 30 feet towards the ladder. You slide down, which costs no movement. You run the remaining 25 feet, so you're right next to your friend Xavier, and you may now attack with your action.
All right, and I'm going to. Let's see. I'm actually gonna attack with my dagger, then go in with my crossbow. See how that fares. Get a sense of what I should be doing.
Go for it.
Yeah, but I'll accept it. I'll just pray for the best for my crossbow hit.
Let me check their AC really quickly. Both of those hit. How much damage do you do in total?
Shit, they both do hit. Okay, so for 12 damage. I don't think I get a sneak attack advantage, sneak attack, so I'm not going to worry about that. So 12 damage to one of
All right. You attack twice on the on one of the sirens. You stab her in the chest, put the crossbow under her chin, and fire. It shoots under her chin and into her brain, killing her instantly. There are 3 left.
It's one down as I end my turn.
All right, Sharad.
Sharad is going to go look at Malleus and going, I hope you like to swim. He's gonna cast polymorph, turning him into a bronze dragon.
All right, Malleus, do you resist turning into a bronze dragon?
No, I would not. I'm just gonna say, I'm finally look like my mother.
All right, your
Well.
mental stats are the same, but everything else is a bronze dragon. So open up this sheet.
Okie dokie.
All right. So you're still above deck. Are you going to use your movement to slide down the ladder, or are you going to stay put?
He's going to go slide down the ladder to provide assistance for the others, since he will be able to actually see them.
All right. So they are 25 feet away. Can you dash as a bonus action, or do you have ranged attacks?
Well, the only ranged attack I have is throwing a dagger at them, but that's not going to help.
So do you end your turn then?
Yeah, he's going to end his turn.
All right, it is Geoff's turn. What is he going to do?
Geoff is he's a brave man, a good soul, man who lives life on the edge. He's gonna jump into the water and try to go fight them head on.
He's going to jump into the water?
Yeah, he's gonna go. Tally ho! Jump into the water at first before them.
All right, so if he's diving overboard, he's diving right by the boat, so he's basically going to land right on top of them. I need him to make either an acrobatics or an athletics check, and if he scores high enough, I'll give him something for free. If he scores low enough, he's going to belly flop.
Oh God. Okay.
Flop, 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 flop.
14. Thank God for his athletics being played.
All right. He rolls high enough to not completely make an ass of himself and belly flop, but he tumbles as he hits the water, and he's not able to do a diving attack. He is underwater, which is in difficult terrain. He's right next to them, but the water is slowing his movements. His attacks are at disadvantage.
Alright, so I'm going to have him with whatever movement speed, unless he's like literally right next to him. Get in close, and he's going to attack one of them with his spear, two-handed.
All right, roll for hit with disadvantage.
That's one. He's got multi-tech. Thank God, so we can do it up to 3 times.
Disadvantage.
Right, sorry. Yeah, he wouldn't have gotten the net 20, so it's still the 12 for that first roll. I'll roll for the other two.
All right, roll again. If you end it with DIS, it'll roll at disadvantage automatically.
God damn, that 7 is his only saving grace.
All right, Geoff, roaring, bubbles flying out of his mouth as he tries to limply swing his sword through the water, but the sirens are just laughing at him as he helplessly flails underwater. He can't breathe and he's missing everything.
Oh boy.
All right, what is Yuno gonna do, Xavier? Oh, by the way, I misspoke earlier. You are on the lower deck, which is why they're at face level, but you're not up to your eyeballs in water. So the water level is about calf height because they're attacking the center of the boat at the helm. So that's why you're. So she would be able to cone of cold them. Yes, she would be able to hit all of them with a cone of cold because their heads are above water. They're attacking the boat. All right, so con saves. $11, 14, and 13. I don't think any of them make their save. Oof! All right. So Yuno casts Cone of Cold, and you see this cone of magical energy swarm out. It punches into the water, killing some of its momentum, but they're so close together it doesn't matter. You see all of them freeze to death and die, formed inside of an iceberg, which then just bobs at surface level.
Wait, does that mean it also gets Geoff because he's down there?
Yeah, he was within melee range. Make a con save for Geoff. Unless Xavier can careful cast or sculpt spell, he's getting hit. Geoff takes 37 points of damage. How much HP does he have left?
He was at max health, so he's fine, but ouch.
Ouch indeed. Alright, we are out of combat.
Alright, Shorad's gonna release the spell on, what's his face?
Damn, he didn't really even get to use that for either.
I was all amped for you to become a bronze dragon. Alright. Well, I say we give it about 10 minutes to wrap things up, and then we will call it a night here.
Or a day.
That sounds good.
All right. So what is everyone doing? I'm assuming Xavier is mending the ship.
Joseph's gonna help him once again, making sure he remembers everything he taught him, especially pointing out certain weak points and split ends on the wood.
All right. What about everybody else?
Keep pacing.
You know, be lucky Joseph wasn't on deck when he saw you turn Malice into a bronze dragon and then turn him back. He'd been like, "You are a wasteful idiot. He could have been tugging us to your objective." However, he did not see that.
As Adora sees that Sharad is pacing, I'm going to go over to him and I'm going to physically hold him in place, have him look me in the eyes, and I'll say, "Listen, you ain't thinking straight. And if you don't start thinking straight soon, we're not going to be able to find the person you want us to save. Are you listening to me?"
The rage, the franticness. He actually goes he stops and then he goes off into a corner and you can hear crying.
I will walk over to him and kind of squat down next to him, not looking at him, and I'll say, "I understand what you're going through. I really do. But we need you to keep a cool head right now. Because if you don't have a cool head, you might hurt someone else. And that person might be the person that you want to save."
Yeah. He's not going to react. He's just going to. Well, I got to get going.
All right. Later, guys.
Yeah.
I had to post up the last bit before I left too.
All right. Yeah, Xavier. What are you trying to learn about the bodies specifically?
Alright. You all have a good day. I gotta get ready for another session here in a bit. Plus, I gotta check up on my wife. She's having a. She's stressing out right now. Later.
Later.
Later.